Welcome back to the channel Valuable Coins, History Coin Collectors, and History Lovers. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1951 Franklin half dollar. This beautiful silver coin honors Benjamin Franklin and features the iconic Liberty Bell, making it one of the most important half dollars in U.S. history. From its rich silver content to its collectible varieties and hidden value in top grades, this coin has the power to surprise you. So, stay tuned as we uncover the full history and true worth of the 1951 half dollar. Top 3 first up. The 1951 United States half dollar is part of the Franklin half dollar series, which ran from 1948 to 1963. This coin holds an important place in American numismatic history, as it was only the second half dollar in U.S. coinage to feature a non-present historical figure, Benjamin Franklin. Designed by John R. Cynic, the Franklin half dollar became a symbol of American ingenuity and respect for one of the founding fathers. The 1951 issue, being an early date in the series, remains highly collectible today. The obverse of the coin proudly displays the bust of Benjamin Franklin, one of the most influential figures of the American Revolution. Franklin's contributions as a scientist, diplomat, and statesman made him an ideal candidate to be featured on American coinage. His profile on the obverse of the 1951 half dollar is clean and simple, with his long hair flowing naturally and the word liberty above. Below his bust, the phrase, "In God We Trust," reminds us of America's deep traditions of faith and unity. The reverse of the 1951 Franklin half dollar is equally iconic, featuring the Liberty Bell, a symbol of freedom and American independence. The bell is shown with its famous crack, acknowledging its historical authenticity. To the right of the Liberty Bell, a small eagle is also included, fulfilling the legal requirement that half dollars must depict the national bird. Together, these elements combine to form a powerful emblem of liberty and strength. John R. Cynic, the U.S. Mint's chief engraver, was responsible for the design of the Franklin half dollar. Interestingly, Cynic had originally designed a Franklin medal years earlier, and his depiction was adapted for the coin. Cynic passed away before the coin was released, so Gilroy Roberts, later known for designing the Kennedy half dollar, finished some details of the reverse. Thus, the 1951 Franklin half dollar carries the influence of two great engravers. In 1951, the Franklin half dollar was minted at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint produced coins with slightly different mintages and collector values. Coins from Philadelphia carried no mint mark, while those from Denver bore a small D on the reverse above the Liberty Bell, and San Francisco coins featured an S. Collectors often seek to build full sets including each mint mark for a particular year. The total mintage for the 1951 half dollar across all 3 mints was substantial. Philadelphia struck over 16 million coins, Denver over 9 million, and San Francisco about 13 million. Despite these high numbers, coins in top uncirculated condition remain highly desirable today, as many circulated heavily in commerce during the 1950s when silver coins were still used daily. The composition of the 1951 Franklin half dollar is 90% silver and 10% copper. Each coin weighs 12.5 grams and contains about 0.3617 troy ounces of pure silver. This silver content alone gives a coin intrinsic value, even when heavily worn. Collectors and investors alike appreciate Franklin half dollars not only for their historical significance, but also for their silver bullion worth. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1951 half dollar lies in its condition rarity. While millions were minted, few have survived in pristine mint state condition with strong details. Collectors particularly seek coins with full bell lines, FBL, on the Liberty Bell. These are horizontal lines at the bottom of the bell that are often weakly struck. A 1951 half dollar with full bell lines is much rarer and commands a premium in the market. Circulated examples of the 1951 Franklin half dollar are relatively affordable and commonly available due to the large mintage. However, high-grade uncirculated examples, especially those with FBL, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition and mint mark. This makes the coin both approachable for beginners and exciting for advanced collectors. The historical backdrop of 1951 also adds meaning to this coin. The early 1950s marked the beginning of the Cold War era, with America asserting its strength as a global power. Franklin, with his ideals of diplomacy and scientific progress, was a fitting figure to grace the half-dollar during this period. The Liberty Bell symbolized the nation's commitment to freedom and unity at a time of global tension. The 1951 Franklin half-dollar was widely used in commerce. Unlike today, when half-dollars are rarely seen in circulation, the Franklin half-dollar was a workhorse coin of its time. Americans use it for large purchases, bank transactions, and even savings, as silver coins are considered trustworthy. Many of the coins that survive today show heavy wear from decades of circulation. Another interesting fact is that the Franklin half-dollar series was relatively short-lived, ending in 1963. After President John F. Kennedy's assassination, the design was quickly replaced in 1964 by the Kennedy half-dollar. This makes every Franklin half-dollar, including the 1951 issue, part of a small but important window in U.S. coinage history. Collectors often compare the 1951 half-dollar to earlier issues in the series, such as the 1948 first year of issue. While not as rare as some early dates, the 1951 remains significant because it is one of the first few years of production. As time has passed, these coins have become scarcer in high grades due to melting during silver booms and heavy circulation. The coin's design received mixed reviews during its time. Some praise its simplicity and dignified appearance, while others criticize it for lacking artistic flourish compared to previous coins like the Walking Liberty half-dollar. However, over time, the Franklin half-dollar has gained appreciation for its clean, historical design and straightforward symbolism. Errors and varieties also exist with the 1951 Franklin half-dollar, which adds excitement for collectors. Some coins show doubling on the lettering or details of the Liberty Bell. Others may display striking weaknesses or planchet flaws. These varieties are carefully cataloged and can significantly increase a coin's value, depending on rarity. The silver melt value of the 1951 half-dollar provides a safety net for its worth. Regardless of condition, each coin contains nearly a third of an ounce of silver. With fluctuating silver prices, even worn examples are worth far more than their face value. This makes them attractive to both investors and coin enthusiasts. The Franklin half-dollar also has cultural significance. Franklin himself was a beloved figure in American history, an inventor, diplomat, writer, and founding father who embodied the American spirit of innovation. Featuring Franklin on the coin highlighted not just political leadership, but also intellectual contributions to the nation. Grading plays a huge role in the value of the 1951 half-dollar. A coin in good G4 condition may only be worth its silver value, while Next up, in 2009, the United States Mint issued a series of 6 commemorative quarters under the District of Columbia and U.S. Territories Quarters Program. This special one-year program followed the popular 50-state quarters program, which had concluded in 2008. Among the 6 designs, one was dedicated to the U.S. Virgin Islands, a Caribbean territory with a rich cultural heritage and a unique role in American history. The quarter honoring the U.S. Virgin Islands was officially released on September 28, 2009. It was the 5th coin issued in the 2009 Territory Series, following coins of the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, and American Samoa, and preceding the final release for the Northern Mariana Islands. The reverse design of the coin is filled with powerful symbolism. At the center, it features an outline map of the 3 main islands, St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix, highlighting the geography of the territory. These islands have long been central to trade, culture, and tourism in the Caribbean region, and their depiction makes the coin instantly recognizable. Alongside the map, the design includes 3 official symbols of the U.S. Virgin Islands: the Bananaquit bird, the Yellow Cedar flower, and the Tyre Palm tree. Each element was carefully chosen to represent the natural environment and cultural pride of the islands. The Bananaquit, a small songbird found throughout the Caribbean, is beloved in the Virgin Islands for its lively nature and constant presence in gardens. Its inclusion on a quarter highlights the island's vibrant biodiversity and connection to the natural world. The Yellow Cedar, also known as Yellow Elder, is the official flower of the Virgin Islands. Its bright yellow blossoms symbolize joy, resilience, and the sunny tropical climate of the territory. The flower has been celebrated in local songs and traditions, making it a natural choice for the coin's imagery. The Tyre Palm tree, another important feature of the coin, represents the lush tropical landscape and the natural resources that have supported island communities for centuries. Palm trees are also a visual symbol of island life and tourism, which is one of the territory's largest economic sectors today. The coin also bears the official motto of the U.S. Virgin Islands, "United in pride and hope." This phrase reflects the strength, unity, and optimism of the people who have endured centuries of colonial rule, slavery, and economic challenges, yet remain resilient and forward-looking. Surrounding the design, the reverse also includes a classic inscription, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one. This motto, which appears on all U.S. coins, carries special meaning for the Virgin Islands, as it emphasizes unity within diversity, reflecting the island's multicultural heritage on the obverse. Like all quarters minted from 1932 to 2021, the coin features a portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. This side of the coin maintains consistency across the series, while the reverse provides a distinct local identity of each honored territory. The U.S. Virgin Islands quarter was minted in 3 facilities: Philadelphia P. Mint Mark, Denver D. Mint Mark, and San Francisco S. Mint Mark. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced circulation strikes, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions in both clad and silver editions for collectors. The release of the coin was celebrated in the Virgin Islands with official ceremonies, educational programs, and local excitement. For many residents, seeing their culture, wildlife, and heritage represented on a U.S. coin was a matter of great pride. The historical background of the Virgin Islands adds even greater significance to the coin. Originally inhabited by indigenous Taino and Kara peoples, the islands later became a center of colonial competition between European powers. The Danish West India Company eventually gained control, and the islands remained under Danish rule until the early 20th century. In 1917, the United States purchased the islands from Denmark for $25 million in gold, primarily for strategic military reasons during World War I. Since then, the U.S. Virgin Islands have remained an unincorporated territory of the United States. With residents holding U.S. citizenship since 1927, the coin's inscription of "United in Pride and Hope" also serves as a reminder of the island's ongoing journey toward greater self-determination and recognition. While residents are American citizens, they do not have voting representation in Congress or the ability to vote in presidential elections, making the motto deeply symbolic of aspirations for the future. Collectors quickly recognize the coin's appeal due to its detailed design and the tropical imagery rarely seen on U.S. currency. The combination of cultural, natural, and political symbolism makes it stand out among the 2009 territorial quarters. In terms of mintage, the U.S. Virgin Islands quarter was produced in relatively modest numbers compared to the earlier 50-state quarters. This lower production run, combined with its one-year-only issue, has made it a sought-after piece among coin collectors, especially in higher grades and proof formats. Today, the coin is valued as both a collectible and an educational tool. It not only represents a piece of American numismatic history, but also tells the story of a territory often overlooked in broader discussions of the United States. The coin continues to spark curiosity about the history, culture, and geography of the Virgin Islands. Beyond its monetary worth, the 2009 U.S. Virgin Islands quarter serves as a permanent tribute to resilience, pride, and unity of the islanders. It connects the people of the territory with the larger American story, while also highlighting their distinct identity. In conclusion, the 2009 U.S. Virgin Islands quarter is more than just a piece of metal. It is a symbol of heritage, culture, and pride. With its imagery of the islands, their flora and fauna, and the powerful motto, "United in Pride and Hope," it ensures that the legacy of the Virgin Islands is remembered not only in history books, but also in the pockets and collections of millions of Americans. Next up, the 2016 Harpers Ferry National Historical Park Quarter is the third coin issued in 2016 and the 33rd overall release in the U.S. Mint America, the Beautiful Quarters program. This program was launched in 2010 and features 56 different quarters, each depicting a national park or historic site in the United States. The Harper's Ferry Quarter specifically honors Harper's Ferry National Historical Park in West Virginia, a site rich with history tied to the Civil War, industrial growth, and the abolitionist movement. Harper's Ferry, located at the confluence of the Potomac and Shenandoah rivers, has long been considered a historically strategic town. Its location made it an essential center for trade, industry, and transportation during the 19th century. The area is also famous for being the site of John Brown's Raid of 1859, an event that sparked national debate over slavery and accelerated the march toward the Civil War. The U.S. Mint chose Harper's Ferry as a representative site for West Virginia in the The Beautiful Quarters program because of its multi-layered history, industrial, social, and military. By featuring Harper's Ferry on a coin, the Mint sought to honor not only the location, but also the people and events that shaped the course of American history from that point forward. The reverse design of the quarter shows John Brown's fort, the building most closely associated with the raid, led by the radical abolitionist John Brown. Originally an engine house for the U.S. Armory at Harper's Ferry, this structure became a symbol of Brown's stand against slavery and his attempt to start a liberation movement for enslaved African Americans. The design captures the fort in its historical form, with inscriptions reading Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, John Brown's Fort, 2016, and E Pluribus Unum. The image was created by U.S. Mint Artistic Infusion Program artist Thomas Hipston and sculpted by U.S. Mint sculptor-engraver Phoebe Hemphill. The obverse of the coin is a standard design used throughout the Beautiful series. It features a restored portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan, originally created in 1932 for the Washington Quarter. Around Washington's profile are the inscriptions, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and the denomination $quarter. John Brown's raid in October 1859 is one of the most defining moments associated with Harper's Ferry. Brown and his group of abolitionists seized a federal armory with the goal of arming enslaved people and starting a rebellion. Although the raid failed and Brown was captured, tried, and executed, the event polarized the nation and deepened tensions between the North and South. Because of John Brown's actions, Harper's Ferry became etched in American memory as a flashpoint of the slavery debate. Many view Brown as a martyr for the cause of abolition, while others at the time considered him a radical extremist. This duality adds to the historical significance of Harper's Ferry, making it a fitting subject for a coin that tells America's story. Harper's Ferry was also a major industrial town during the 19th century. The U.S. Armory and Arsenal located there was one of only 2 federal armories in the country, producing firearms for the U.S. military. Its presence made Harper's Ferry a target during the Civil War, leading to repeated occupations and battles as Union and Confederate forces sought control. In addition to its industrial and military history, Harper's Ferry became a hub of education and civil rights progress after the Civil War. Storer College, established in 1867, was one of the earliest institutions in the United States dedicated to higher education of formerly enslaved African Americans. This legacy of education and freedom further enhances the significance of the site. The Harper's Ferry National Historical Park was officially established in 1944 and expanded over time to preserve not only John Brown's fort, but also the historic town and surrounding natural landscapes. Today, it covers more than 3,500 acres and welcomes hundreds of thousands of visitors every year. When the Harper's Ferry Quarter was released into circulation in June 2016, it was accompanied by ceremonial events in Charlestown, West Virginia. The U.S. Mint hosted official launch ceremonies, coin exchanges, and educational programs to engage the local community and highlight the historical significance of the design. Collectors were particularly interested in this release because of its strong historical narrative. Many saw the Harper's Ferry Quarter as one of the most symbolically powerful designs in the entire The Beautiful series, since it represents both a struggle for freedom and the industrial progress of the nation. The coin was minted in 3 primary facilities: Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Circulating strikes came from Philadelphia and Denver, while the San Francisco Mint produced quarters for collectors. Additionally, silver-proof and clad-proof versions were struck for special sets. The mintage numbers for the Harper's Ferry Quarter were in line with other releases in the series. Philadelphia and Denver produced tens of millions of circulation strikes, while San Francisco proofs were made in smaller quantities, increasing their desirability among collectors. In terms of collectible value, most circulated Harper's Ferry quarters are worth only their face value, 25 cents. However, uncirculated and proof versions, especially silver proofs or coins with errors such as double dies or misstrikes, can command higher premiums in the coin market. Error coins from this release are especially sought after by collectors. Misstrikes, off-center strikes, or coins with unusual die varieties can raise their value significantly. For example, a Harper's Ferry quarter in pristine condition with a unique error could fetch dozens or even hundreds of dollars, depending on rarity. Beyond monetary value, the coin holds immense historical and cultural value. It serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made in the fight against slavery, the industrial advancements of the nation, and the role of education in shaping the future after the Civil War. The Harper's Ferry National Historical Park quarter continues to be a favorite among both collectors and history enthusiasts. It combines strong design with a meaningful story, making it a standout issue in the America the Beautiful series. Its imagery of John Brown's fort connects directly to the broader American struggle for liberty and justice. Ultimately, the 2016 Harper's Ferry quarter is more than just a piece of currency. It is a small but powerful tribute to a place that witnessed some of the most transformative events in U.S. history. For collectors, historians, and ordinary citizens alike, it represents the enduring story of freedom, conflict, and progress that defines America's past and continues to shape its future.